Beyond the seawall's crumbling stairway, the saltwater conservatory stayed. All fractured panes and iron lattice, all fern dark corners holding golden weight. Marble channels crossed the floor in silence, filled with tide that wandered in at night. And every leaf the winter had not taken wore a little residue of light. Plaques beneath the branches named old species no one tended, no one came to claim. While vines rode over all the Latin with a softer, greener kind of name. I came there with my frost-stung hours, all my inward room shut fast with ache, thinking anything once left untended could only dim and never wake. But in the gilded quiet of the saltwater conservatory, even the withered stems could shine, not return to what they were in summer, just made tender by the weather and the time. And the tide between the marble channels moved like mercy, learning how to stay. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like warmth, returning leaf by leaf to gray. At the center stood a broken fountain, ringed with pots gone pale from years of brine. Their roots still holding secret patience under soil gone silver, cold and fine. One tree bent low beneath the glasswork bore a single blossom near the seam, not bright but ivory, etched in amber like a lantern lit inside a dream. I touched the rim of one old planter. Its clay was cracked but still held earth, and something in me long called useless felt less like ruin than delayed rebirth. And the mist rose thin among the trellises, catching dawn in ribbons of soft gold. And every branch I'd named forsaken looked like something braver than I told. So in the gilded quiet of the saltwater conservatory, even my closed hands learned to part, not healed into innocence or brightness, just opened enough to let in what was warm. And the tide between the marble channels moved like mercy, learning how to stay. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like warmth, returning leaf by leaf to gray. When the first full morning crossed the glass roof, all the salt lit up in lines of fire, every stain and fracture briefly burning like a map of all the things that still survive. I stood there while the whole house shimmered, not remade, not rid of what had been, just alive in all its weathered splendor. And for once I did not need to leave my skin. So let the vines keep climbing through the rafters, let the channels take the tide they know, let the blossom keep its quiet amber where the broken panes admit the glow. In the gilded quiet of the saltwater conservatory, I learned the heart need not begin hazy light finally enters in. Beyond the winter promenade, the flooded menagerie remained, all vaulted glass and tarnished railings, on marble aisles the sea wind named. The cages stood with doors unfastened, their gilded bars gone soft with gray, while shallow tide crossed patterned mosaics and carried flecks of dawn their way. Blacks beneath the pedestals were dimmed now, lion, ibis, ermine, snow. Their names still there, but all the breathing long since given back to weather's flow. I came there with my old possessions, all the things I held too hard from fear, thinking love was only keeping, thinking loss meant nothing could stay near. But in the opaline hush of the flooded menagerie, even empty cages learn to shine, not to promise what had left would return, just to show that open hands can still be kind. And the tide along the mosaic floor moved like mercy through the marble blue. I thought redemption would arrive as a rescue. It came like learning what not to hold on to. At the center, under cracked glass lanterns, a round enclosure faced the sea, its velvet ropes half drowned in silence, its mirrors filmed with salt and sleep. There's a white plume clung to a railing, caught in rust beside a chain, light as something once protected, now made holy by the rain. I touched the latch of one small aviary gate without a sound at all, and in that simple yielding metal, something in me ceased to brace for loss. The dawn rose pale behind the rooftop, opal, pearl, and diluted gold, turning every vacant pedestal into an altar for the unlived and untold. What once was built to frame a wonder now stood gentler in its quiet ruin, and all that absence in the salt air felt less like theft than ruin. So in the opaline hush of the flooded menagerie, even my fear of leaving grew mild, not vanished into easy freedom, just softened enough to stop living so wild. And the tide along the mosaic floor moved like mercy through the marble blue. I thought redemption would arrive as a rescue. It came like learning what not to hold on to. And the first full light filled all the rafters, every cage through open bars of pearl, shadows loosening from the columns like 1,000 small releases in the world. I stood there while the glass roof brightened, not emptied, not absolved, not new, just less afraid of loving gently where I could not make a thing stay true. Let the tide keep crossing through the hallways, let the velvet fade, let the plaques grow dim. Let the dawn rest on the broken latches, and the sea wind hymn the vacant rim. In the opaline hush of the flooded menagerie, I learned the heart can open and remain, not because it keeps what it once sheltered, but because it blesses what became. Beyond the sea walls lain in shadow, the undertow chapel kept the dawn. All rose glass bruised with pearl and weather, all hymn-board numbers half withdrawn. The pew stood ankle deep in tide water, their varnish silvered by the sea, while salt climbed slowly up the railings, like old prayers learning how to leave. An altar cloth once white as winter hung softened into threadbare gold, and every crack along the plaster looked less like damage than a story told. I came there with my hidden breakage, all my small betrayals sealed inside, thinking mercy was for cleaner hands, thinking love would turn away from mine. But in the rose glass reverie of the undertow chapel, even shame became a quieter thing, not vanished into spotless silence, just held until it lost its need to sting. And the water moved between the pew legs, like forgiveness no one had to name. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like light that loved me all the same. Near the chancel, tarnished votive bowl still carried petals, wax and rain, small drowned constellations trembling every time the sea wine touched the panes. A hymnal lay with pages swollen, ink on blue and edges curled, open to a song about returning. I could barely read, but somehow heard. Then from the choir loft above, the dimness fell one loosened ribbon of pale cloth, drifting down through rose-colored morning, like a blessing with its edges lost. I touched the wood where names were carved, their initials cut by hands long gone, and felt my own unfinished spirit seem less condemned than carried on. By dawn the windows deepened softly, pink and reverie of the undertow chapel. Even my hardest hour grew mild, not changed into some sainted version, just seen with more compassion than I'd known in quite a while. And the water moved between the pew legs like forgiveness no one had to name. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like light that loved me all the same. Beyond the ferry terminal ruins, the harbor planetarium breathed low, all velvet rose and salt dim railings, all aisles lit by blue ember glow. The dome still held its failing heavens, small cracked constellations turning slow, while shallow seawater crossed the carpet and silver currents from the doors below. A star machine with one blind lens kept humming through the dampened air, throwing broken light on empty headrests, like gold assurances still trying there. I came with all my midnight damage, all the questions I had made my home, thinking every dark was proof of distance, thinking nothing lost could still be known. But in the blue ember sleep of the harbor planetarium, even doubt lay down beside the tide, not answered into perfect meaning, just held beneath a gentler sky inside. And the drowned stars moved across the ceiling like mercy with no need to explain. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like resting in the dark without the shame. At the back behind the torn red curtain, a case of charts had come unlatched, moon maps curled with rain along their edges, ink dissolved to pearl where salt had passed. One plaque described a vanished comet, seen once bright then gone for years, but noted in the margin softly, absence is not proof that nothing nears. I read it while the projector trembled, casting slow Orion through the mist, and something in my guarded rib cage opened like a window left unlatched. The harbor horns below the hillside answered with a low and distant tone, and every seat in that blue chamber looked less harbor planetarium. Even my unrest forgot to fight. Not cured, not led back to old certainties, just given room to breathe among the light. And the drowned stars moved across the ceiling like mercy with no need to explain. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like resting in the dark without the shame. Beyond the inlet's rusted railings, the dimming sea house kept its breath. All velvet, dark and peeling gold leaf, all balconies half lost to mist. The chandeliers hung low as memories, their crystal dimmed by salt and years, while seawater crossed the stage in ribbons and carried footlight shadows near. Pin clouds on the ceiling faded, blue and silver cracked with time, as if every scene once raised for wonder had learned to soften past its prime. I came there with my borrowed faces, all the selves I wore to earn a place, thinking love belonged to brighter versions, thinking the stillness had no use for me. But in the velvet mercy of the dimming sea house, even silence knew my name. Not applauding, not asking for a performance, just holding me before I could explain. And the title on the hollow floorboards moved like kindness through the darkened room. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like staying when the mirrors lost their bloom. Behind the curtain in the wingside corridor, a row of costumes slept in dust. Satin sleeves and moon-pale collars, gone soft with mildew, salt and hush. And makeup mirror lined with dead bulbs held my outline in a gentler way, not sharpened for the crowd's approval, just blurred enough to let me stay. There were props of kingdoms never lasting, cardboard moons and paper rain, all the little gorgeous falsehoods people built to make it through the pain. I touched a mast beside the stairwell, its lacquer flaked beneath my hand, and something in me quit pretending. Every wound must look more grand. Then dawn leaned in through And every seat in that abandoned hall looked less like judgment than like space. So in the velvet mercy of the damning sea house, even my old fear unclenched its hands, not healed into some radiant certainty, just finally seen without demand. And the tide along the hollow floorboards moved like kindness through the darkened room. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like staying when the mirrors lost their bloom. Beyond the break wall's final turning, the salt aviary faced the sea. All at its arches hanging lanterns, a wire made soft by weather's sleep. The dome above wore threads of mourning, pearl caught thin in every seam, while shallow tide moved under catwalks, like a hush remembering wings. Open perches line the inner columns, seed trays cracked and silvered through, and white feathers clung to railing corners, like small unfinished notes of blue. I came there with my clasped up silences, all the things I'd locked behind my teeth, thinking safety meant enclosure, thinking tenderness could only leave. But in the lantern sleep of the salt aviary, even absence learned a gentler name, not returned to me in living motion, just opened wide enough to change. And the tide below the rusted stairways moved like mercy where the shadows flew. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like learning I was not made to cage the truth. At the center hung a ring of glass orbs fogged with salt and pale inside, catching dawn in blurred refractions that drifted over mesh and tide. One narrow bridge led to the high roost, where the sea wind entered clean and slow. There a single band of gilt paint still glimmered under years of cold. On the wall, old placards named migrations, arrows fading toward a vanished sun. And in the blur of those departing pathways, I felt my own withheld heart come undone. No cry remained, no sudden beating, just the softest pressure in the air. as if every open latch and doorway had been keeping vigil for me there. Then dawn turned fuller through the dome, work rose and pearl across the tidal floor, and every empty perch looked less forsaken than ready not to hold anymore. So in the lantern sleep of the salt day, the air, even my fear of leaving grew kind, not healed into some fearless freedom, just loosened from the bars inside. And the tide below the rusted stairways moved like mercy where the shadows flew. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like learning I was not made to cage the truth. At the edge of the drowned esplanade, the tideway carousel remained, all gilt leaves and painted stallions, all pearl-like caught in weather stains. Its platform held a thin sheet of seawater, just enough to double every pole. So the horses looked like they were rising from a softer second undertow. Silk pennants clung in quiet ribbons, ticket glass was blurred with brine, and the calliope pipes above me wore the dawn like tarnished silver lines. I came there with my oldest circles, all the roads that led me back to ache, thinking I was built from repetition, thinking hurt was just the shape I'd make. But in the gilded hush of the tideway carousel, even the spinning learned to slow, not shattered from its old enchantment, just opened where the exit light could show. And the water around the painted horses moved like mercy through each mirrored ring. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like stepping off the ride while it was still singing. There were lions with chip blue saddles, swans with cracked and moon-pale wings, and one small horse with a missing bridle, facing east as if expecting spring. Behind the organ, faded frescoed children danced in panels, peeling at the seams, their faces worn to almost featureless shapes of joy half kept in sleep. I touched a pole gone cold with salt film, it shivered with a rusted tone, and something in me along revolving felt the strange relief of not being wound. No grand halt, no blaze of thunder, just the platform giving one soft sigh, as if all those years of turning had had been waiting for permission to grow tired. Then dawn poured rose across the mirrors, broken fragments on the tidal floor, and every carved horse looked less imprisoned than ready not to circle anymore. So in the gilded hush of the tideway carousel, even my old grief forgot its cue, not healed into a brand new story, just freed from having to repeat the same one through. And the water around the painted horses moved like mercy through each mirrored ring. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like stepping off the ride while it was still singing. At the end of the shuttered boardwalk, the undertow arcade remained, all rose neon and dim glass cabinets, all bright things softened down by rain. The claw machines stood full of silence, their plastic prizes long since gone, while shallow seawater crossed the linoleum and carried pink reflections on. Pinball lights still blinked in fragments, half their patterns lost to salt, and paper tickets trailed from dispensers like little vows of measured luck. I came there with my old comparisons, all the wanting I had worn thin, thinking love was something won in flashes, thinking worth began when shows ended. But in the rosewater static of the undertow arcade, even hunger lost its sharpened frame, not crowned at last with some grand winning, just freed from needing one more game. And the tide around the silent cabinets moved like mercy through the pink lit blue. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like learning I was never made to be a prize for someone to choose. Behind the counter, faded plushes slumped in dusty rows. Behind the glass, one silver dolphin with a torn seam, catching dawn like something built to last. Ski ball lane ran out in stillness, wood gone dark with age and spray, its circles waiting at the far end like old beliefs about what points can pay. On the wall, a board of high school initials flickered faintly through the grime, and I saw how often I had measured my whole pulse against a borrowed line. I touched the start button closer. It sparked once, then settled low, and something in me quit performing for a finish line it did not owe. Then dawn poured fuller through the sea fog, rose and pearl across the prize displays, and every empty claw looked less rejecting than relieved to finally lose its claim. So in the rosewater static of the undertow arcade, even my old estate gave back the score, not healed into some fearless freedom, just unwilling to keep losing at that door. And the tide around the silent cabinets moved like mercy through the pink-lit blue. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like learning I was never made to be a prize for someone to choose. Above the undertide embankment, the old observatory stood, all cracked blue glass and silent brass work, all dawn made pale in driftwood hues. The dome was open by a fraction, just enough for mist and light, while seawater on the mosaic held a second set of skies. Star charts curled along the tabletops, ink gone soft with salt and years, and every faded line of orbit looked like something drawn through tears. I came there with my broken bearings, all the nights I could not name, thinking every darkened distance proved I'd wandered wrong again. But in the blue mercy of the undertide observatory, even lost light found a way to stay, not arriving whole and blazing, just reaching late enough to change the shape of yesterday. And the tide across the storm-and floor stones moved like kindness under lunar blue. I thought redemption would arrive as rescue. It came like learning some long nights were only something to move through. One telescope still faced the water, its eyepiece cold with silver air, as if the sea itself were worthy of the same devotion given stars. A velvet rope lay slack between posts, dark with damp and ocean dust, and the benches wore the patient polish of years no audience could interrupt. were chalk marks on a blackboard panel, half a formula, half a prayer. And in the blur of numbers fading, I felt the strange relief of not being clear. I touched the brass and saw my outline bend inside its weathered shine, not sharpened into some new answer, just held as one small moving sign. Then dawn climbed higher through the dome, its blue to pearl to diluted gold, and every chart of vanished distances looked less accusing than consoled. So in the blue mercy of the undertide observatory, even my oldest fear of wrong grew small, not healed into some flawless meaning, just finally given a sky large enough to hold it all. And the tide across the star-mapped floor stones moved like kindness under lunar blue. I thought redemption would arrive as a rescue. It came like learning some long nights were only something to move through. Under the seawall's sleeping shoulder, the mirror aquarium held the dawn. All black glass tanks and silver railings, all blue made soft where night had gone. The water had fallen back by morning, the flow tide shining in the floors. So every tunnel, every window held two horizons instead of one. Jellyfish diagrams curled on the walls, their faint as breath and twice as strange, while brass plaques screamed along the edges like names that weather could not erase. I came there with my hidden currents, all the depths I kept off limits still, thinking what moved below my surface would only frighten if it was revealed. But in the velvet low tide of the mirror aquarium, even darkness learned to glimmer through, not emptied of its secret motion, just shone in softer light than I once knew. And the move like mercy in a glass blue sleep.